All right, so here we go. We got this 90 model Chevrolet OBS, which stands for old body style for you all who don't know the Chevy OBS and Ford OBS stuff. Anyway, the dipstick tube in this truck was leaking when I picked it up last year, so we're going to get this thing changed out and put a new seal in it and make sure it doesn't leak anymore. We're going to start driving this truck. We just got it tagged and insured and swapped the wheels off of Candy Cane to here, and we're going to start driving this a little bit. It hadn't been on the road in a while, but and it needs some work, so we'll start getting some work done on it, get it back on the road. But let's just go ahead and get this transmission dipstick tube swapped out. Tongue tangler dipstick tube is, and the leaves are falling, which means it's December in Arkansas. Alright, we'll need to get a light out here. We've got one bolt on the back of this head that we've got to get that bolt loose, and then the dipstick tube we should better swing it up. Get the truck up on ramps or jack stands and crawl under there and swap that out. Shouldn't take but just a couple minutes to get it swapped out. So let me grab a wrench and a light and we'll get to work on this, because it is starting to get dark out here in just a few minutes anyway.
Alright, we're trying to get to this bolt back here. It's kind of in a heck of a spot. If it's easier to get to from the bottom, or I don't know. I can get a wrench on it. Right there. She tight. Oh, she's real tight. Man, that was tight. Woo! Broke it loose with that wrench. Took two hands. Now let's hope that's the right bolt. Oh, I don't think that's the one it's on. That sucks. Where in the heck is that bolted to? Back of the head? Okay. Yep. Alright, I can tighten that back up. That bolt was super tight. It sucked. But that's not the bolt. It's the wrong one. The dipstick tube is not bolted down here on the transmission. It's bolted to the back of the head. I thought I felt it down there. I was wrong. Let me tighten it back up. It's been quite a few years since I worked on this truck. I think I swapped this engine out back in 2016, I believe. This is it was a 90,000 mile 305, come out of a 2500 Chevrolet truck. The 350 that was in here had who knows how many hundreds of thousands of miles on it. It had to be well over 300,000 miles on that 350 that was in this truck. And it ran still, but it didn't have any power. It was way down on power. So anyway, I put the low mileage 305 in here, and this 305 runs great. Still runs great. I can see it barely. The bolt I'm looking for is down. I don't know if this camera will see it from here, but see it straight through here if it'll focus. The bolt that I'm trying to get to. I got a long wrench here, and I can get on it. Yeah, that's hard to get to also. All right, I'm able to get this bolt on, this wrench on there now. Let's see if we can see this. I broke it loose. I think if I can get my fingers back there, I can get it loose. All right, we about got this bolt out. It was a pain in the butt to get to. All right, there it is. Oh, now dipstick tube can be worked loose. We can pick it up and put the seal in it. We're going to, we don't want to drop that. All right, so what we gotta do now is we gotta jack the truck up, put it on some jack stands. We'll get underneath there and pick this dipstick tube up, swap out this rubber seal, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so this is what the seal looks like that we're going to replace. This is a Dorman, part number 65113. It's the dipstick tube grommet. So we'll get under there and get the old one out. We'll get under there and put this one on. We'll take a look at the old one and see how it looks once I get it out. Let's grab this light. I've been running around all day. I was going to work on this earlier, but we weren't at home, so got my garage floor mat here, aka the cardboard box. All right, so right here is that seal that we're going to pull out. Now there's a good chance that it may leak some fluid once I pull this transmission tube up. And that's just something we'll have to deal with. Let's see. Maybe this will work like that. Can you see that? Alright, so the seal's on the end of this tube. We're going to slide that tube over and pull that seal off of it. Maybe that's picking it up, I don't know. We'll drop that down here. Here's the seal that's on there. You know, it don't look that bad. But we got a new one. We're going to put a new one on it. That seal did not look too bad. Alright, we're going to wiggle that back in from the top and hook it back up. Put the bolt back in it. So, alright, one thing I just noticed was that transmission line right there looks like it's leaking. So I'm going to get a line wrench and try to get it on there and see can we tighten that transmission line up a little bit. That might be where the leak was coming from.
Ooh, look at the factory. Look at the dual exhaust they put on here. Plug that off. Put an H pipe in it. Glass packs, bullet mufflers, and tips out the back. Alright, so yeah, let me grab a line wrench. Let's tighten that transmission line. Alright, that's a really hard spot to get to. We're going to push this dipstick tube back up. Let's see if we can work it back out. Move it up out the way because I need that space to get a line wrench on that. There we go. Now maybe I can get a line wrench in there. If not, I'll just have to do my best with a regular wrench to tighten it up. Man, I can't really get on that. I may have a crow's foot. I can almost get on there. Almost get on it. Yeah, that line is a little bit loose. Maybe the line's still good. I may have to reflare it. All right, let me go get a different wrench. I've got two different things to try here. First, I'm gonna try to get this regular wrench on there, and then I brought a crow's foot with me. I may try the crow's foot too. Problem is, I've only got metric crow's foot, so 13 millimeters what I'll have to put on there. Oh, I got it. I tightened it up too. It was kind of loose. I did get some on it just then. It was I don't know, about 1/8 of a turn, which was enough that it could leak for sure. Alright, so that's about as all I can get with that. I'm gonna try this crow's foot and see if I can get it up in there, and maybe I can spin it around enough to get a little bit on there. Right there. Let's try that. Yep. Can y'all see that? My hands in my, I got the light. Get the light up here a little closer. Alright, there we go. That's better light. So, got the crow's foot in there, and I'm able to, I got some on it. Now it's gonna, let me go back. It's this is a metric crow's foot, so I did tighten it up some. Hopefully that was all it needed. Yeah, it's not wiggling on the inside anymore like it was. Man, I'd like to go ahead and get a little bit on that top one if I can reach it. Let's see if I can reach it from the bottom. Oh, let's spin it around. I hear my phone. Y'all can't see what I'm doing, I don't think. What I'm trying to do is get this crow's foot on that top transmission line, because I tightened the bottom one up, which leads me to believe that the top one may also need to be tightened as well. Let's go from this angle. I can't get a good angle on it. Yeah, right there on it. Gosh darn it. Alright. I gotta get something on it. I mean, I'm under here and it's December. I don't want to wait till January to try to get under here and work on this. Alright, I'm on it. That one's tight. That one's tight. Good. So, the bottom one was loose, and we had a leak coming from under here. My dad said that it was the transmission dipstick tube, which with this line leaking and it running right on top of the dipstick tube, it definitely would look like the dipstick tube was leaking. So I wonder if I can get a little more on that with this wrench. Now I did get a turn on it, and it felt like it got tight, and I did get it tightened with the crow's foot, albeit it's a like I said, it's a metric crow's foot, so it's not as it's a little looser on it than a 1/2 inch. This is a 13 millimeter. So let me get back around here on it. Right there. Nice tight. It feels tight to me. Well, best of luck. I'm gonna put it back together. Alright, so we'll get back up top, push this dipstick tube back down in there, and hey, just so you, let's see, let me get this turned around, y'all can see. Let me show you something. Alright, so on the Chevrolet OBS trucks, here we go, let's turn around this way. The 4-wheel drive trucks had these stabilizer bars that went to the, these braces go to your dust cover on the 4-wheel drives, and it was only on the 4-wheel drive trucks that had these extra braces for the off-road. You can see the motor mounts with the extension on it for the stabilizer bars. Those only came on the 4-wheel drive trucks. So this came out of a 2500 GMC that had 90,000 miles on it, and I never did take those off when I put it in there. I guess I should have you know, taken them off. That on both sides. I did take it off that side. I don't know why I left it on the other. See, and this was the 4-wheel drive oil filter adapter. So it's got the small spin-on oil filter up to the side. So, yep. Anyway, that's that. All right, so I think we got the transmission leak issue fixed for now. We will work that back down in there. All right, we got to get these jack stands back out from under it. Let it down. All right, she's back down. Now I could try to finagle this bolt back in that it took forever to get out. Put this light back in here. Oh yeah, I can see it. All right. Now, as long as my fingers can hold on to this, I'll put the dipstick back in. All right. Now, we are going to try to get this bolt back in. She tight. All right. So, all right, we got dipstick tube back tightened up. Get the breather put back on here, hook back up, and we'll check the battery. I had to charge it earlier, but I didn't leave it on long. I just charged it enough to get it started. It is a good battery. It just hasn't been drove but 3 times since last year, and it was just, you know, a mile down the road. So, but now we are, if we got the transmission leak fixed, we're ready to start driving it a little bit. We got a lot of front end work to do on the truck. Control arms, ball joints, tie rod ends, pretty much a whole front end rebuild, get a wheel alignment done on it. And then we got steering column work. We're going to drop the steering column out, rebolted all back up because my dad had that replaced. Someone stole his truck years ago, not too many years ago. My dad was sitting in McDonald's having breakfast or lunch with his brother, and my uncle, he looks out the window and says, "Hey, did you give somebody the keys to your truck?" He's like, "No, the keys are in my pocket." Well, there went his truck in the middle of the day. Truck drove by. Someone stole his truck while he was sitting in the eating in McDonald's. They were brave, so they ran and jumped in my uncle's truck and started chasing him. And so they chased him about 15 miles down the road. And luckily for Dad, because this truck don't have a speed limiter on it, so top end it's faster than my uncle's F-150, who the speed limit was shutting it off. I think 105 was shut off. So they were outrunning him. This truck was outrunning them, and but luckily Dad didn't stop and get gas yet, and the truck was just about out of gas. So what this truck would do when it gets really low on gas is it starts hesitating, starts cutting out and shutting off, and that's what happened. It started cutting out real bad, and the guy pulled over, but he was way ahead of him, and a white Impala had already passed him. And that was the getaway car, the guy that was with him that dropped him off. So the Impala picked him up and they took off and left the truck on the side of the road. And another vehicle stopped because he realized he recognized the truck, and it was someone my dad knew. And he said, "Hey, I'll sit with your truck, and if you want to catch those guys." So they tried to catch the guys in the car, and they couldn't catch them. And probably a good thing, because they were probably armed, and that probably would have been, you know, not a good thing if they had caught up with them. But anyway, they got the truck back, and the steering column, they had busted the steering column out. So the guy was a professional Silverado thief. He opened the door up, stuck a screwdriver in, popped the side of the steering column off, fired it right up, busted the key out of it, and I mean, he had it started within 15 seconds and he had the truck stolen. It was super fast. So anyway, he put another steering column in there. He paid someone to put a steering column in, and they put it in, but it's not set up right. So you have to hold up on the shifter to get it to turn, to get your key out and all that. So I'm going to drop it all out and reset it all up, get it working the way it's supposed to work. But anyway, let's get this put back together, and we'll fire it up and see if we got a leak. All right, let's see if it'll start without charging the battery. It didn't move once today. That's a big nope. All right, let's get the battery charger. Throw it on here. We'll start right up. All right, battery charger is hooked up. I just hooked it up, but I'm gonna see if it'll start anyway. I mean, it's only on 10 amps. We'll see what happens. Nope, it's going to make me wait. All right, we'll give it 5 minutes. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. So let's try it again. No leak. It was pouring out of here previously, so it's not leaking now, and that's a good thing. All right, we're going to check the fluid level. We're going to get it topped off. topped off and we'll go for a ride. All right, we are in the OBS, and we haven't named this truck yet. We'll clean this lens off. All right, we're going for a test ride. I don't think I got any wiper blades that are worth the crap. Yeah, they're present, but they're you know what, maybe I did change them out. All right, anyway, reverse, overdrive. All right, what if we got a defroster in this truck? No way. So the that's great. The fan's not coming on, circulation fan. So let me crack a window and we'll circulate some air in the truck. Yeah, this is gonna be sketchy. Dash lights work some. They work some. Anyway, we're gonna run on by Leighton Welding's house. I just talked to him. He said he'll be around. So anyway, this is the test drive. We'll do another one tomorrow in the daytime. All right, so far it's doing pretty good. Transmission shifting good. Good as it can. It's a 700 R4. It don't have a great overdrive, but it is present. I did just put about a half quart of Lucas transmission oil in it, along with some more Dextron. We just got a lot of rain here. Woo. And this road is like whoop-de-doos on a motocross track. And the headlights suck on this truck. But we're gonna fix that. Low beam, or it's high beam. Low beam. Yeah, this steering column needs some work. The blinker switch don't feel right. And there goes Crane 1 truck. He's a neighbor down the road. But test drive's going pretty good. We're going to stop up here at Leighton Welding's house, see what he's up to. All right, so just got back from the test drive in the blue Chevy, and it done great. Transmission feels like it is shifting a little better than it was before I added the Lucas to it. So I think the Lucas may help prolong the transmission before it needs a rebuild, hopefully. I'm going to try to put a few miles on the truck and start rebuilding the front end a little bit at a time. What I can do with it. I know I'm probably do one side at a time, then go get a wheel alignment done on it. It is not my normal transportation, so I don't drive it. I mean, like I said, I haven't driven it in a year. I went and got it from my dad's place a year ago. And I haven't driven it, so I'm trying to get it back on the road now. But transmission's fixed for now, and we'll go on to the next thing. So I appreciate everyone tuning in and watching, and if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like and share it, and I'll see you on the next video. Big Block 402, and I'm gone. Alright, we got this 90 model Chevrolet. We're going to be changing out the transmission dipstick tube seal. It was leaking on me when I went and picked this truck up from my dad's place last year. Been sitting ever since, so we're gonna get this dipstick. Yeah. What we're gonna do is this.